What's up, people of YouTube? This is Twirler here, bringing you guys another video to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about politics. Something I've, kind of stayed away from since the whole election started and everything else with Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. All that stuff was a mess, and I'm not afraid to express my opinion on my channel at all. I really wasn't worried about that. But I wanted to wait until the very end of everything to kind of give exactly how I feel about the outcome, the running of the people who were in the presidential election. I just kind of wanted to express my overall opinion after it was all said and done, and then kind of give an analysis of how things are going since the president has been elected. So we all know that Donald Trump has been elected president, and I don't think that there's a whole lot of people, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think there's a whole lot of people in this country that are like, best president ever, would have chose him over literally any other person ever, he was totally qualified to be president, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that there's really anybody out there that's going to say that I'm aware of, and if there is, then I don't really know what to think of you, man. It's just kind of weird, honestly. In my opinion, he could not be any more or any less qualified to be the president of the United States. But with that being said, if I would have voted, I did not vote. I had other things that I cared more about than taking the time to go vote. Maybe I should have. But if I would have voted, I would have voted for Donald Trump, because the person he was up against was a far worse person, in my opinion. I do not like Hillary Clinton. Could not stand her. I did not like the way she looked. I didn't like her fake smile. I didn't like her fake laugh. I didn't like how she played off everything as if it wasn't a big deal, all the things she did wrong. I didn't like it at all. I don't like her as a person. I think she's a very, 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 very bad person, and I would have never voted for her no matter what. But with that being said, Donald Trump also not qualified to be president. Donald Trump could also lead us into wars. Donald Trump could just equal a lot of really, really bad things. But this is my perspective. So if Hillary Clinton would have been our president, right? If Hillary Clinton would have won, I feel like two things would have happened. We either would have stayed on the route that the United States is currently going on, which the past 8 years, it hasn't really been necessarily improvement, but it hasn't necessarily been bad either. You look at the peaks and downfalls of things. I'm pretty sure that our economy has gotten better, aside from the fact that our country's in a lot more debt than it was 8 years ago. Gas prices dropped tremendously, especially within the last 2-3 years, something like that. The soldiers over in foreign countries, a lot of them got pulled out. Almost all of them, I believe, at some point. Some people can argue Obamacare. I don't like Obamacare. Not for it, not my thing. But some people, might be into that. But some people look at that as a positive. There have been things that have been better in the past 8 years, but for the most part, we've just kind of been going on this slight, like this plateau. We're just kind of going straight on this plateau, and there's no real progress being made. So either that would happen if Hillary Clinton was president, or things would get really bad. Like war, just horrible, horrible things would happen. And since Donald Trump is our president, if Donald Trump would be elected, which he is, it was either going to be absolute garbage, like things are just going to plummet. The United States is going to be at the lowest it's ever been at. There's going to be wars on a grand scale. Whatever you could possibly think would be bad could probably be bad with Donald Trump being our president. Or it's only going to be better. Whether that's him being more strict on the way we sell things in and out of the country, being more strict with other countries and nations about who we help, who we don't help, how that affects us. Maybe it's good in the long run. I don't think those are things that Hillary Clinton was willing to do. Even if she said she was lying, because she is a liar. She's known to lie. She's known to flip. Donald Trump, he has been flipping on things a lot too. People might bring up the sexual things that Donald Trump has said about women, and I don't support that. I don't think that's right. Any racism that may have spewed from his mouth is not the same level of racism that I think the KKK spews or anything along those lines. I really don't think it's that level of horribleness, but I don't think that any level of racism should be accepted. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people out there who seem to think that the same level of racism that Donald Trump may or may not kind of put out there is at the same level as the KKK that would hung black people from trees and stuff like that. Like, it's not the same thing. It's in my opinion, it's a little bit of an overreaction. And I think that in the grand scheme of things, Donald Trump's an older guy. He does not come from politics. He does not come from knowing what is and is not okay. What you see a lot of the time in politics is people who were built for politics. They get up there to know what to say. They know what they're going to say when they get on the stage in front of all those people, in front of national television, regardless of who they really are at home. I think that what we got to see from Donald Trump is who he really is. And honestly, I would rather have that than somebody like Hillary Clinton who lies and deceives and tries to trick people and so on and so forth. So I was generally pleased with the outcome of the election. And like I said before, I don't like Donald Trump, but I support him more so than Hillary Clinton. And I think that him being our president is going to hopefully help us in the long run. I can see things going bad, and as of right now, I don't really have a negative opinion of Donald Trump all that much. I mean, if he really feels that way about women, the things he says and says he does, or that people claim he did, that he's a piece of shit, he's trash, blah, blah, blah. But I already know that Hillary Clinton is all of those things. I don't know for a fact that Donald Trump is. So I'm going to put my money where he is, and hopefully he does the right thing. Hopefully he does the good thing. And hopefully he surrounds himself with people who can help him do the right thing as the president of the United States. So now the next thing I kind of want to talk about is the general outcome of the election. How people are reacting, the left and the right, etc. I don't think that the way Hillary Clinton supporters are acting is okay, but I'm also aware that that's not all Hillary Clinton supporters. That's not all Democrats. That's not all Republicans that are racist. It's not like that. You can't just take one Donald Trump supporter, one Hillary Clinton supporter, and say that a Hillary Clinton supporter just wants that safe space. They're pussies. They don't want to have to do things for themselves. They're offended easily. They're not all like that. That's just not how it is. That's like saying that all black people are, whatever, insert racist thing here, or that all Asian people are good at math. Like, it's not like that. It's not how life works. That's not how people are. And so before I get into the outcome of this election, I would like to acknowledge the fact that even though Hillary Clinton supporters, Democrats, however you want to look at it, are doing really bad things, the whole hashtag not my president, he's your president. Fucking get over it, first of all. Second of all, stop ruining people's shit. Stop blocking fucking traffic. Stop doing that. Would this have been any different if Hillary Clinton was elected president? Yes. No, technically. But no, it probably wouldn't have been any different. I feel like a lot of Republicans would be doing the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I think that there's stupid people on both sides, people who take this way too far on both sides, people who are overreacting on both sides. And pretty much that's all I really wanted to say about the outcome of this election. Those of you who are destroying cars, blocking freeways, causing harm to people, pulling people out of their vehicles to beat them for being a Trump supporter, you really, really need to get yourself checked out. You need to stop. And the reason why is this. Donald Trump alone cannot make the decision to just wipe out every Mexican in the entire country. Wipe out every black person in the entire country. Deport everyone that he can't do that. Now, he says that he's going to try and get the non-documented illegal immigrants deported. He says he wants to do that, and that's him as president. He says he wants to do that. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, maybe that's where some of the issues lie. I don't have an issue with that. I don't think that people should be able to come to the United States without a background check, without proving themselves to be worthy enough to be a citizen, because who knows where they come from? How many people have they raped? How many people have they killed? What horrible things have they done? Doesn't mean that all of them have done horrible things, but all I'm saying is if you want to come to the United States, you should have to follow the correct steps to get here. And if you have gotten here illegally, you should be deported. I don't think you should have to go to jail. You shouldn't get any horrible punishment, but you have to go back to where you came from. And if you want to be in the United States, you have to come here the right way. You just do. You can't just walk across the border and just be like, this is my home, this is my healthcare, this is my job. It shouldn't be like that. I feel sorry for the people who are in tough spots and you come here to get away from it. but do it the right way. Now that leads me into my next topic. What is the right way to get to the United States so you're not an illegal immigrant? I currently have no idea what the current way of getting here is, and I am assuming it costs a lot of money. In terms of our government and how all of that is going, why does it cost money for them to come here? Because I'm sure it does. It shouldn't. It should not cost a crap ton of money for somebody to come here to get away from whatever shithole life they are currently in. But it should require them to pass some standards, whether it's a background check, making sure that they are just not horrible people in general, having a normal, like a level of education of some sort, or if they don't, then they have to be enrolled in some level of schooling. If they drop out of said schooling, then they get deported, because you want active people in your society. You want people who are actually going to help the community, the country, the thing as a whole. You don't want people who are just here to be here. That is how you become an active member of society. And I just think that it shouldn't be this hard. You know, I don't think it should be this hard for somebody to come over to the country, come over into this country from a bad life. I don't think it should be expensive. I don't think any of those things should be the case. I just think that they should be a quality person who is willing to work to be here. That's all it should have to be, really, in my opinion. I don't think it should be based on your race, your gender, any of that stuff. So yeah, the people who are here illegally should be deported. Now back to what I was saying before all of this spiel. Donald Trump cannot just say something and it happen. We have pretty much everything is run by Republican right now, but that still does not mean there's so many Republicans that don't agree with things that Donald Trump are doing. It's not going to work like that, guys. He's not going to go, okay, abortion shouldn't be a thing anymore, and then boom, it's going to happen. It's not going to be like that. I see tons of little Instagram videos or Twitter videos of loved ones together. One of them is black and one's white or Mexican and Asian, whatever it may be, and one of them is crying, the other one's holding the other person as if they're going to be deported the next morning. If you are here illegally, then you are going to be deported, maybe. If you were born in the United States, you don't have to worry. I don't understand why people are so concerned and frustrated and worried and scared. Where this country was at 8 years ago to now is a big difference. And it's been a good one for the most part. And I don't see Donald Trump, or I hope that Donald Trump doesn't take us down a bad road, is all I'm trying to say. And for the people out there that are really, really worried about what's going to happen to them, please just think this through, all right? If you're here illegally, and by some crazy reason he is able to get you all the illegal immigrants deported, that is the only time in which you should be worried. But the chances of that happening, from my knowledge on government and all that stuff, from my knowledge, that is extremely slim. I don't see them being able to do that. Even if it passes that all undocumented people are going to be deported, how are they going to get a hold of everybody? It's literally no different than it is now. So you don't really have to worry. To the people out there who are destroying cars, blocking highways, stuff like that, just stop. Quit doing it. You're ruining all credibility to your argument. It's pointless. You are just hurting yourself. You're hurting what you're trying to stand for, and it's not helping you. It just really isn't. To the Trump supporters that are doing things like writing horrible things on people's cars and racist terms, stuff like that, just stop. Would you just quit? I miss when I could get on the internet and not see a split community, a split world. It's sickening in a lot of ways. And I think that now that this election is over, we might start to see that come to an end, but it's still really worrisome. I don't think Donald Trump is going to destroy the country by any means. Will he make mistakes? Yes. Did Obama make mistakes? Yes. I think it's going to be all right. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Twitter and Facebook links will be down in the description as always. Use code NFAM for 10% off any and all Fatal Grip orders. Really appreciate it. There's also a link down there for Catalyst Mints. The video you'll see on screen will be one of the last videos that I made, and deuces.